experience things they were in the past. And one of the reasons I think that will continue is because of the rise of digital technology and how it's become so much a part of us that we can't live without our phones anymore. We can't decompress, we can't take a break from them, and being able to go back into the past and live in a time before that is one way of taking that break. You know, so that I think people will desire that more and more over time.
Is that also a growing trend? Because, let's say, in a lot of countries in the world we have aging populations. And I experienced it myself. The more you get older, the more also you look back. You look forward also, but you look back at, let's say, the music I listened in the 60s. And sometimes I really put the record again and think, my God, that was when I was a student, I listened to this music. And I like it. Is that part of the trend that so many people get aged?
Yes, yeah. As you get older, then you know, there's a point at which you start to look back more than you look forward. But also, sort of at any age beyond, you know, college or early 20s and that sort of thing, is there's a point at which you form your identity. And that formative time, often in high school and college or shortly thereafter, where you're trying different things, you're seeing what is you, maybe trying different kinds of music. And so you identify with the music that you listen to when your identity really came together. And that's a key point about authenticity. That's the point that you'll look back to when you became who you are today, when your own identity was formed in a way, not that that doesn't take things into account things as you were growing up, but you really became who you are today, and that formative time is one that you're going to want to go back to.
But what good experience for a senior consumers, like a segmentation? From the global forecast, you said that in 2020, we will have 25% of the aging society. And how could we create some kind of experiential products and service to this group of consumers?
Well, one is to recognize the rise in healthcare, what's sometimes called life care in the U.S. That there's a big demand for that. That I actually work with hospitals more than any other industry because research shows that the better experience a patient has, the better the outcome. And the chances they heal goes up, the time it takes to heal goes down. And so as the population ages, they're going to be looking for more and more aspect of that to remain healthy, and therefore the experience is going to become.
I feel like hospital right now looks like a hotel.
Yeah,
higher price turned out to be almost like a 5-star hotel. The room is also cost almost like a hotel. Nurse, they don't wear like a nurse uniform anymore, or even especially for the kids and the senior sector. They would dress something that make more fun or create creativity, like decoration inside and so activity. Those are also something that hospital try to do.
Yeah. Well, and that's hospitals going back to their heritage. Because hospital comes from the word hospitality. Right? Originally, hospitals were places where you would be hospitable to people who were sick because you didn't have the medicine or the knowledge to cure them. So all you could do was be hospitable. And now, it's much more than that, but then they lost that relationship to hospitality. They focus solely on the disease rather than on the person. And now that's much more coming back, where they're being hospitable, and a lot of hospitals are learning from hotels. Because hotels know how to be hospitable. And in fact, one of the greatest portions of the medical industry, particularly coming from the U.S., is also one of the fastest growing portions of the tourism industry, and that's medical tourism. Where people go someplace for procedure, have a vacation experience at the same time. And of course, Thailand is a huge place that they come.
Yes.
The Bangrak, right, that one is famous for being a medical tourism.
Especially from the Middle East, so fly here, Singaporean fly here to admit, I don't know what to say. Yeah,
admit, yes.
Yeah, even only just for a health check, they also choose to come here.
Right.
Yeah, even though it is
Isn't that because of the price?
Well, it's because of price allows them to actually have a vacation experience as part of it. So they can come here for a procedure, spend a week or two recovery, and go back for the same price that they had. So yes, that's absolutely a part of it. It's why insurance companies in the U.S. are actually But if it were a lousy experience, you know, even at a lower price, people were going to go fly here.
What about the medicine industry? I mean, the biofarm. I mean, this kind of industry could also impact by the new experiential that we try to create for the. I mean, you don't have to, consume the drugs 3 times a day, but not just 1 time, or could it be placebo in a new way of using virtual reality?
Yeah, I think you can think of experienced placebos, right, as opposed to pill placebos. And one of the things that's going on there with hospitals, with pharmaceutical companies and that, is that there is an economic offering after experiences. That in fact they use experiences that are designed so well for a particular person, exactly the experience that they want to have, then you can't help but turn to what we often call a life-transforming experience. An experience that changes us in some way. And that's what I call transformation. And healthcare is really in the transformation. One type is absolutely a social experience where you want to be with the crowd. You want to identify with other people and want to be with them at the same point and have an amazing experience where everybody is dancing together at sensations. You also see the crowd in going to the beach. You know, few people like to go to the beach and be alone. I mean, there are a few, but for the most part, you go to the beach to see other people, you go to the beach to be seen by other people. It's the same with shopping. It's as much a social experience as it is an individual experience that you have. So you see the rise of many of those sorts of social experiences as well.
We have full moon party at the Bangrak Island. So many tourists come from all over the world to know that, okay, this is full moon, let's take on the boat and go dancing until morning, until dawn, and even somehow we have problems with the tourists. So this also could be some kind of, chain reaction that happened from one side of the world and going to the other side of the world, is it? It's going to be more, expansion. I heard from my colleagues saying that the White Sensation also went to Tokyo. They're also buying this kind of idea and also create this kind of, social interaction. Do you think that this kind of social interaction could be developed to be further like a regional or destination marketing for tourism in the future?
Yes, is that one of the basic principles of the experience economy to understand is that the experience is the marketing. Right? The experience is the marketing. The best way to generate demand for any offer, whether it's a commodity, a good, a service, or another experience, is with an experience so engaging that customers can't help but pay attention, spend their time with you, and then buy your offering as a result. That's why Apple gets into retail, right? Create an experience that generates demand for the offering. That's why agritourism, if we get people to come on the farm, they'll buy apples and corn and all these other things. So that applies to experiences like tourism as well, and destination marketing. Is that let's create an experience that generates demand for the experience. And you can perhaps see that most of all in places like Las Vegas.
Yes.
Las Vegas is the...
We tried to have one here.
Yeah? Did it work? No?
I went to Thailand, but we're still trying to plan to do that.
All right. Well, Las Vegas is the epicenter of the experience economy. Everything that happens in Las Vegas is about the experience. And so all of the experiences they have create further demand for all the other experiences.
It's unbelievable because everybody goes there just because they want to gambling. No, some of them also want to go to see a great show. All the good singer.
Cirque du Soleil is one of the best experience stages in the world.
Right. So, do you think this kind of thing also, actually Singapore also tries to do that by having the Marina Bay Sands?
Yeah, the sands.
Right, yes. And also create the idea of destination marketing to let people know that it's not only just gambling, but we can also have other things as well.
Right. And I've worked with the Singapore Tourism Board, in fact, including this past May there, about how do you create a destination that really is going to be attractive to people and all the different elements that it takes to be able to do that. And obviously having some sort of icon of experience, like the Marina Bay Sands, like the Las Vegas Strip in Las Vegas, like the same casinos in Macau and that, like the Sydney Opera House. Those that help because it puts you on the map. It says that this is a place that you want to experience. It wants to be on your list of places that you go to because it has some icon that stands head and shoulders above any place else in Europe.
But let's say, if I look in Thailand, such a place could be the Grand Palace, yeah, as an icon for this kind of thing. But if there are too many people, then of course it's becoming a bad experience.
Right, absolutely. That if your wait is longer than the actual experience, that can become a bad experience. So there are capacity issues you've got to think about. And maybe that's not designed well enough, designed with enough space to be able to be an iconic experience, and maybe something else has to happen or redeveloped in some way.
Well, it was a design in the past, so we don't know.
Right, that was a small country.
Hey, my friends in Singapore, he said something like this. My microphone is gone. Hello. And I have.
Okay, coming back. Right. My friends say that Singapore there are events. 7 days a week, every day, it's almost every day. Every retail, especially retailer, try to create events to attract more consumers, to engage with what they want. So just like we just open some kind of flash mob, and so those kind of interesting, attractive. Do you think it seems like many people will compete to surprise and impress the consumer more and more in terms of events, and so create, to engage what they want the consumer to do? For example, buy the products. Starting from the ground to finally create attachment to the brands. So experience can be the brand. Could it be?
Yeah.
Say like that way?
Yeah, experience can be the brand. And events are simply temporary experiences. They're experiences that last for a little bit of time.
Right.
And the nice thing about that is that there's always something new. So you do have that new factor, that unique factor, that they're always rolling over into a new event and a new type of experience, that can keep an area fresh and always have a reason to come back and always know that there's something that's going to be different than you experienced last time. So that can be a great benefit in a tourism area.
But that will give a lot of stress for people doing this, because every time you have to invent something new. If you do
Right,
3,
you
4
want
years the same thing, then
just like
you say,
Apple
okay, we
do.
saw it already, we're not going anymore.
Right. Well, business is hard. Business is such that you can never rest on your laurels. If you think that you've got the competitive advantage and this is it forever and you have to do anything different, let me tell you, you're setting yourself up for a fall, right? Because there's always going to be somebody to come along and do something. So you might as well do that yourself. And yes, it's hard, but it's not nearly hard as farming or making things in a factory. That's hard.
So when we're talking about events, also the other word, because we have which is leisure studies. So many leisure studies also trying to relate it with how people interact with each other in terms of sociology and sociology. How can you call that leisure activities could engage into destination or regional marketing in the future or presently?
Well, again, leisure is one type of experience that people want to have, and I think of leisure, that it is, classic one is hanging out on the beach. That's true leisure. For me, it's golfing. I'd rather be golfing